Hey y'all, it's your girl Mariah Sincere, and I'm back with another live. How are y'all doing tonight? Please make sure as y'all get in here, y'all go ahead and comment. Let me know that you're here so I can shout you out. Guys, my channel is growing. I had a goal of being at 500 subscribers by March, and we're almost there. I'm at like 488, so I'm really excited. I'm thinking about like giving doing some type of giveaway when we hit 500. So I'm just gonna give it a moment for everybody to come on in here. He is the D Malley from Cali is the entire reason why we are doing this live, y'all. Um, so the topic of discussion is, can men and women be friends? Well, y'all go ahead and put y'all's opinion in the chat. Hey, Binky, what's up? Okay, I got my people in here. I'm excited. Y'all make me want to go get a drink. But honestly and truly, I got to go to work in the morning. And y'all know I'm a teacher. So I have to turn in grades when I get off of this live. Y'all know how it is. But I said I'm going to try to be consistent and make sure that I am keeping to my schedule as much as possible. Because I said I was going to come on Wednesdays and Saturday nights. So y'all know to look out for me. But baby, when I tell y'all I am tired, I'm tired. I've been working like a Hebrew slave. Okay. So, now I wrote down a couple of scenarios in which males and females can be friends. Let me be clear. In neither one of these scenarios do I think it's ever 100% completely platonic. Okay? And let me explain why. So, the only way I feel like it could be 100% completely platonic is if you have like a a gay male friend. Okay, even that is questionable though, because I've been talking to a lot of women who have gay friends lately, and you would be surprised the amount of women who have done something with their gay best friend or their gay male friend. And the reason being is that, like, you might have a male that identifies as gay, like completely gay. I'm not talking about somebody talking about they bisexual. I'm saying a man saying he's gay. But not all gay men are created equally, and they have varying levels of masculinity. Okay, and some gay men are more masculine than others, and they get in this mood where they enjoy the company of a woman and they have these curiosities. And then you also have to remember a lot of gay men started out dating women and then kind of maybe as a teenager turned gay. So you would be very surprised at the secret admiration that some gay men have for their female friends, you know? So I'm not saying that's the majority, but that it does happen. It happens quite often. So I feel like if there were ever going to be a scenario where it would be 100% platonic, though, the man would have to be gay. Now, I'm not saying that men and women cannot have friendships where they are not active with each other in that way, if you know what I mean, or there's no sexual tension. I'm not saying that. The degree to which those friendships exist, though, is largely dependent upon how the woman feels about the man, and the boundaries that she sets. Binky, I think it's possible to be friends, but there's usually some sort of attraction. Honestly, yes. Okay, and I'm gonna get to that, Binky. Um, so let a lot of men already start off being attracted to a woman in some way, you know. Now if it's a situation where he feels like the woman is out of his league and he doesn't want to be as direct, a lot of the times men will play the long game. They'll be your friend. Why? Well, you're going to come talk to him about everything, and eventually you're going to get vulnerable. Okay. And I've heard quite a few women tell me that they dealt with a male friend just because they were vulnerable, going through it, dealing with a breakup. So it might not necessarily be that that male friend wants to be with you. You know, he may or may not, but there's always an opportunity there in his mind if he plays his cards right. Um, and women were emotional, so if you have this guy who's he might not necessarily have been somebody that you considered for a relationship, but if this person has always been a safe space for you and somebody you feel like you can turn to and cry to about your problems, then you are kind of putting yourself in a situation where something might go down if you become overly emotional. So I don't think it's a really good idea, especially like it's nothing wrong with getting advice from your male friends about your relationships. But you shouldn't do that over drinks with the male friend, or you shouldn't do that at your male friend's house. You definitely shouldn't do that while you are emotionally distraught. Okay. Mr. D says that men and women can't be friends. You need to tell us why. Please break that down. Um, Women do this too though. Okay. So I have seen it to where for example, I was in a relationship with a dude and he had a female friend who clearly, like she clearly was in love with him, right? In my opinion. But he was not the type that he usually she was not the type that he usually would date. Okay. Um at least not like publicly. Now, I feel like a man will lay down with any woman who's offering it. But anyway, so I would always wonder why the girl would just look at me when we be at parties or at get-togethers. She would just look at us and she'd be looking so sad and distraught. And I'd be like, "Don't you? Hey, AP?" And I'd be like, "Don't you know? She likes you." And he would be like, "Well, I kind of thought she did." Then it came out later on in the relationship. The man got so drunk. He told me that one time when they all went out of town together, mind you, I'm not a controlling person at all. It's some stuff I really do not care about. So he went out of town with her and two other male friends. They all went out of town together. Mind you, they were friends before I got into a relationship with him. So I already got into that relationship with him, understanding that one of his best friends was a girl. So I just didn't know to the extent to which she had certain feelings for him. Anyway, he got drunk one night and told me months later that when they went out of town, that him and this same chick, who I wouldn't even think he would even, do anything with, slept in the bed together. And I was like, what? And it was wild to me, first of all, that he kept that from me for so long, and that he, decided to tell me when he got drunk, and that he thought that was appropriate to tell me. It was crazy. And now that I'm like way out of that relationship and I know how men work, I would not put it past them that they messed around or did something, because I remember even after that trip, it's like the girl would get more and more sad being around me. Okay. D Malley says, I believe in male female friendships, but the perception from the outside makes it difficult. I think these perceived boundaries limit business opportunities. I see what what you're saying. People are going to always think that there's something going on, especially when you're in a situation where you might have extremely attractive male or an extremely attracted female, or both of them might be extremely attractive. In my opinion, though, and I just can only base this off of experience, I've never had a uh male friendship that and I'm talking about as far as like we see each other on a regular basis, we're around each other on a regular basis, and it did not turn into that man eventually trying to make a pass at me in some sort of way, right? Um so I personally have never experienced a 100% platonic male female friendship where we are around each other and dealing with each other on a day-to-day basis, and that man has absolutely no attraction towards me. That has not been my experience. AP says I can be friends with a woman I know has a disease. What is wrong with you? Yeah, that'll be the only thing. Like that will be the only thing that keep it 100% platonic. And even then, AP, like I have realized a lot of men do not care. Okay, you care. A lot of men do not care like we think. I think we shame men into caring about diseases, but I don't think they really care. And I say this because I was having a conversation with one of my male associates, and him and his friends wanted to take a trip to Houston to go out there and, be out in these streets. And I told them, I was like, y'all know the STD rate in Houston is hella high. And he just kind of got quiet. And I was like, men never gave a damn about STDs, did they? And he was like, no, they don't. It, we still going and we still acting. Becky, no, they don't care about diseases. Not, and again, I want to be clear. I'm not speaking for all men. I'm gonna say the vast majority of men do not care about diseases and STDs. That don't even come across a lot of their minds. I promise you. Like, if it like the urge to get some completely overrides any thoughts about having to go to the doctor for a disease, I promise you. Now, fellas, if y'all disagree and y'all feel like the vast majority of men actually care about diseases and they're thinking about that and they care about themselves and they're going to the doctor to get checked, if y'all disagree with me, please put it in the comments. Okay, I don't want to just be up here speaking for y'all, but I don't think you'll be able to disagree with me. Okay. Oh, going back to the friend, yes, she was feeling away. We get territorial about shit, even if it makes no sense. We're territorial with our female friends. So imagine a dude we was feeling, and yes, and he's very handsome, So it was just weird. And then after that, I couldn't even see them the same after he had told me that they had slept in the bed together. Cause for what? Okay. That didn't make no sense to me. Y'all didn't get separate rooms. And again, I didn't ask these kind of questions because I genuinely did not give a damn. That's just me, y'all. Like, I'm a Gemini. It's certain stuff I don't care about. I'm one of those people where, like, if my man go out to the club, I'm not staying up to see what time he got home or nothing like that. I do not care at all. Cha Cha, hey Cha Cha, how are you? Yeah, Mr. D. I don't you agree with me about the STDs? Yeah. Men don't care about stuff like that. Um, hey DJ Batman, I see you back. Black men is the ones that don't care about diseases. It's not just black men. I promise you it's not just black men. It's certain things, like, trust me, when it's time for me to get on y'all, I will get on y'all about stuff that is specific to y'all. But that's not just a black male thing. Like, that's a male thing in general. Trust and believe me, most men, I don't care, black, white, Asian, whatever, they do not care about diseases. Only time I can maybe see a man kind of being more cautious is if he already has a chick. And the only time they be cautious, the only reason why they be cautious is because they not trying to get caught. They ain't trying to get caught up. Okay. Cause men get checked when they woman get checked. That's when they find out if they got something. Other than that, they ain't going to the doctor. Yeah. So I'm gonna go back to the gay friends. Okay, that's another thing, and I feel like men know other men. That's why a lot of men always hold on. I gotta address this. AP says women have always tried to encourage me to go ride. Now, AP, was you going? Was you going? And you gotta get more details. Like, was these like how long had you been dealing with these women? What was the extent to the relationship? Was this the first time? Like, you gotta give details. You can't just throw that out there. Cha cha with you. Now I'm thinking about Sexy Red saying she's the raw dog queen. And she's not lying though. One thing I can respect about Sexy Red, even though I don't respect that kind of promotion, right? Because it's one thing to do certain things, but like don't get on the internet, and you got to understand her audience is kids. It's not us grown folks who have already decided what we want to do and have already been making our decisions. The people that listen to her are kids, and they're hearing this and then buying her lip gloss. Y'all know she had lip gloss called gonorrhea. She had another lip gloss called Booty Hole Brown, and they buying this stuff. Yeah, Bianca, I need some answers. They will swear they own birth control and they're clean, but you still not telling me the scenario. Like, it had you been dating these girls for a while, and then they were swearing they on birth control and they clean. And what do you say when they tell you that? Like, come on now, you holding out on us. Too many men see women as sexual outlets. I try to see people as people. That's true, D Malley. Like, I feel like most men never learn how to transmute sexual energy. Um, and what I mean by that is, let me be clear, we all have vices. I feel like with men in particular, the major vice that y'all deal with is gonna be, sex, to be honest. But women can deal with this kind of thing too. Like, for example, women who overeat don't know how to transmute emotional energy oftentimes, right? Um so when you don't have anything better to do, when you don't have purpose, or you don't have any way to let out testosterone or physical aggression, it can just be seen as something to do, and y'all kind of just let that take over. Mr. D says strapping up changes the mood, even though it says strapping up is like taking a cab 45 minutes to the spot. The mood is shot. Oh my God, Mr. D. I was watching this guy. Oh, I want to find that so bad and put it on here. And he's popular. I think his name is Rico or something. I always see him on YouTube. And he said that if a girl allows him to go raw, that he feels like she did that just for him. Which, I mean, maybe. But he says if a girl pulls out a condom, then he doesn't feel like he don't feel special anymore. Like he's disgusted by that. He's disgusted by a woman pulling out a condom, and he feels like she does this all the time, so she stays ready. Which, hold on now, there is some truth to that, because girls that are out here active, they do like, and they know they're active, and they be active with multiple people. Them are the ones that actually are more likely to keep protection on them because they're planning to do it, versus women who are not out here engaging in that on a regular basis and don't have multiple partners. They're not as likely to go to the store and just keep that on them. Yeah, that's true. Most of the time they'll be expecting like the man to have it, but a woman that's not active, 9 times out of 10, she's not gonna be out here and just have keep that on her just in case, because her mind ain't even there. I'm not saying that's the correct way to do things. I'm just saying that is normally how that goes, because I have been around women who are active and they keep all that on them. AP says if a man doesn't pull a condom out, a woman won't stop him unless it's transactional. Prostitutes require condoms more than square women. I probably say that's true, AP, because again, like when you're talking about square women, it depends on to the extent to which she is active. If a woman is really active, like I was saying, she probably gonna pull it out too, just like a prostitute would. Whereas a woman who that's not something she normally do, she's least likely, I'm not saying she won't, but she probably least likely to just, pull that out or something. Yeah, I agree with you, DJ Batman. Not wanting kids kept me wearing condoms regardless. And the few times I didn't in my early 20s, a baby came each time, AP. Stop lying. Not every single time. Okay, let me find out you don't miss when you shoot up that club. Um, DJ Batman, I definitely think it's men. Of course, it's not even close. It's not even close. And I've had men try to argue me down as far as this and say that women think about it just as much. I don't think it's not. It don't even come close. Y'all have to understand, we're operating in a society in which sex is promoted constantly, right? And then even now, I mean, it started with the rappers, and now we got the female rappers. So you have women who, I even see this with young girls that I talk to, they think they're about that life until their feelings start getting hurt. Whereas men can just keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and it does not have the same emotional effect. It's like going to the toilet. It's like impulsive for men. So I feel like men definitely have the bigger sex drive. I think, when a woman is dealing with a man that she really cares about and sees beyond that, just that act, she might think about it more than what she normally would. But I don't think it even comes close. Men definitely have the bigger drive. Binky says, "When I'm single, condoms are in the nightstand. LOL. I don't give a fuck." And again, there's nothing. That's the way you're supposed to do it, right? That's what you're supposed to do. Like, even if it's just on some, you never know. It's kind of like I don't eat canned food, but I keep canned food in my house just in case we have another pandemic and the shelves are completely cleaned out, okay? Or I be planning for the end of the world, right? So it's not, again, that's how you're supposed to do it. And it don't necessarily mean that you out here just super active with it, right? What I'm saying though is, I think the more active you are, the more likely you are to be thinking about that. Versus if you, it's women, y'all gotta understand, it's women who go years without doing anything. And then, she might go 3 or 4 years and you gone so long, shoot, even if you did have that stuff in your drawer, if you're not replacing it, it's no good, it's expired. So, they don't even think about it, and then get yourself into a situation where, dang, I mean, you didn't think it was gonna happen, but now it done came to this. Okay. Women only think about for a short periods of time when their monthly cycle ends for a few days, and that's it. I would say that is true, Mr. D. Like, we had, like, it peaks up and down during the month. I'll say that. It's not an everyday thing. It's not a moment to moment thing. Definitely not that. Dang. Every time he got relaxed on his rules. That's crazy. Yep. Also, women be having baby fever and they don't give a fuck who impregnates them. Just watch Maury. That's true. And I have to agree with that, AP, because did y'all notice that, like, women who never had kids, like, they've been child free all through their 20s and early 30s, By the time they hit their late 30s, they done popped out pregnant. These will be the same women that done sat up and talked about women having kids at a wedlock. Now all of a sudden they pregnant. And then a lot of times they be pregnant by men who they don't even go with, or who wasn't, they weren't even in a relationship with. They just popped out pregnant out of nowhere. And then it be by the most wrong dude. I don't be understanding. But that's true. Women, once they hit a certain age, start getting baby fever. I'm gonna say this, especially if they don't already have kids. Y'all, the women that I know who have the craziest, like the weakest baby daddies, and they like started having kids after we all kind of left our early 20s and we're like 30 now. They were the main ones. I ain't having no kids, and talking about the rest of us. And I'm like, baby, I can call my baby daddy and ask him to pay the rent if I just have to, and we ain't finna argue about it. Y'all be having baby daddies who y'all couldn't get $5 from. Okay, it's gonna be a whole argument, but had the nerve to talk about everybody else. It's in men nature to have a high sex drive because naturally they want to consistently procreate. Yeah, women don't have that same drive, and we don't have as much testosterone. Like, I every time, I see women on the internet saying that they don't want to have kids or want to get married, I always see men say, well, what about the population? And women don't think like that at all. We be like, okay, it's already overpopulated. It's not gonna hurt if I don't have any kids. But you could tell men that the world is gonna burn in hell tomorrow, and they'll still be talking about, well, what about the population? Yeah, she playing it safe, as she should though. If you a single person, you do need to be prepared. It's just there's such stigma attached to it, I think, these days, especially with women trying to protect themselves because we have such a culture of just casual hookups. I mean, people literally go on Tinder just to hook up. Time in my cycle is a habit for me since I was in my early 20s. I don't want random baby daddies or diseases. Yes, and you don't necessarily have to be on birth control, but if you can track your ovulation and your ovulation window, you can definitely prevent all of that. Well, except for the disease part. I mean, tracking your cycle won't help with the diseases. Hence why your girl keeps them rubbers in the nightstand. I understand. Now that is true. Baby fever hits, but I got over that a few years ago. Freedom is everything. My time and money is mine. Girl, let me tell you something. Anytime a woman start talking about she want a baby, I start talking about the cost of childcare. Honestly and truly. And is your man built for you to have that baby and stay off of work for at least a year or two? No. So you shouldn't even be thinking about having no kids if you got to just have them and turn around and send them to daycare. I couldn't imagine doing that. I didn't go back to work for like a year. My daughter was 1 years old when she finally went to daycare. Um, I couldn't just imagine having a baby and 6 weeks later sending them to daycare. That's crazy to me. D Mally, I don't know. So you're asking this question, but I can't answer that because I'm a woman and I've only lived my life as a woman. So I can't speak for men, nor can I make any kind of comparison. I don't know. This conversation, y'all so nasty. So we started off talking about whether or not men and women can have platonic relationships. Look at these questions y'all asking. I'm so ashamed of y'all. No, I'm just playing. We can talk. I got time. But women don't mind. See, and I be trying not to read certain things on YouTube. Y'all gotta remember, I got a kind of professional job. Y'all read what this man say. I ain't finna say that. Girl, men talk shit if we have kids and talk shit if we don't. They will find a way to say we ain't shit. No, exactly. It's like if you are having kids, then uh you lose, or you don't have standards, or you didn't choose right. And then when you say, okay, well, I'm just not going to have kids because I'm not married. Well, what about the population? And why don't you want to get married? And and you don't care about the black family, you don't care about the black home, and it's like, well, what do you want us to do? I don't understand what we supposed to do. Y'all, like, pick a side, pick a side. Okay. But yeah, men and women can't be friends. This chat come up. Yes. Okay. Because I was trying to have a nice, clean conversation. And y'all came in here and got this all the way turned up. I think it feels better for women because they have way more to risk. But I don't know. So, first of all, that's being told from a male perspective, D Malley, because men, y'all like taking risk, and taking risk feels fun for y'all, right? When women take certain risk, that doesn't necessarily heighten the experience for y'all. It's kind of like men enjoy driving fast for the thrill of it, and you'll be doing that, and the majority of women, not all, but the majority of women will be in the car literally terrified and telling you to stop. It don't feel better for us that you driving that fast, just because we're taking a risk. You get what I'm trying to say? So I don't necessarily think that that makes the experience better for women just because we have to bear more of the risk. Now, I think the woman might it might be different for her depending on the amount of emotional investment, but that don't have nothing to necessarily do with the act itself. You get what I'm saying? Do your job fire for social media? I mean, they can, depending on what it is. I mean, any job can do that, depending on what it is. But I'm not gonna say I'm not. Let me be quiet. It's just certain things. I just, I'll talk about it, but I don't go too far. You get what I'm trying to say? There's usually some sort of tension between heterosexual men and always, because you gotta understand. You gotta think about it like this too. And again, I'm not even gonna say, because I've honestly had friends that were male friends who I just viewed as friends. But the only reason why those relationships stayed platonic was because I kept it platonic. If I wanted it to go the other way and cross that line, those men would have been with it. So that's why I say the woman controls the tempo. The woman really controls whether or not this relationship remains platonic. Because if you give a man the opportunity, I don't care if the girl so-called not his type, don't look like nothing he would normally date, or you give a man an opportunity, he, 9 times out of 10, he going, unless you just got to be really out of there. It's got to be something that's just a real turn off. And in that case, most of the time, the man, he not gonna be your friend because he don't want to be around no funky woman. People don't always act on it, but there is, from what I see. Let me tell you something. A lot of men got to watch their boundaries with their female family members. Oh, y'all, look, see, I'm finna start some mess. A lot of men gotta watch their boundaries with their female family members. So imagine they friends. I can't tell you how many men have told me. So, for example, I had a male acquaintance tell me that when he was a teenager, he was in the room playing video games, right? With his friends. And the friend's mother walked in, which she was so wrong and nasty and trifling for this, walked in while they was playing video games after she just got out the shower with no clothes on. Okay. When the mother walked out, the friend said about his own mother, my mama got a fat, you know what, don't she? Yep. I can't tell you how many male friends have told me that they've been at a family gathering and their cousins and uncles was talking about certain the way certain women looked. So um it's even harder when they dealing with women that's not they kin. Yes, that's true, AP. As soon as that gets involved, then the relationship has completely changed. These new chicks think you lame if you wear condoms or don't pop a pill. Hold on, what you mean pop a pill? Explain that. I've heard it from the horse's mouth. So hold on, AP. So the girls are saying that the men that don't take it are is lame? What age group is this? Because I automatically think responsible. I don't think lame. Like I feel like okay, this person is safe, like responsible. They're safer to deal with. Like I don't think lame and pill. What kind of pill? What you talking about? You talking about the blue pills? Here's the truth about who feels better in that situation. It's dead even. But how do you know? And this is what I'm saying. I don't know, Mr. D, because I don't know. I don't have nothing to compare it to. I've never experienced that in a male body. That's just like when I hear transgender people say, um, like when I hear trans women say, I've always uh felt like a woman. And I'm like, I knew I wasn't a man. I've always felt like a woman. And that sounds so weird to me. And I'm not talking bad about transgender people, but I've always been a woman. I have nothing else to compare it to. I can't say I don't feel like a man or anything because I don't even know. I don't know what it is to feel like a man. I don't have anything to compare it to. When that man and woman reach the finish line, they both feel good. The issue is it takes longer for the female to reach. I think that man is talking about intensity though, because you can experience things at varying levels of intensity. Lame if you don't pop pills is crazy. Yeah, that's and I'm trying to figure out what kind of pills. AP, you need to tell. Yeah, it went all the way left. I don't know why y'all got on my live and went left like this. I'm going there with y'all though. When I was in a relationship, the woman wanted me constantly. Like she was comfortable enough to let down her pride and ask that required her to let down her pride. I thought that was regular if you was in a relationship. I agree with your breakdown. Hold on, she had to let down her pride, so it took time for her while y'all was already in a relationship. She had to let down her pride. Okay, the finish line. The man is there right away. Let the female win, and you both win. Okay, well, I'm not gonna argue with that at all. Who got this started? Okay, I want to go back in the comments and see. What's crazy is that the best relationships start from a genuine friendship. Yes, because you get to take the time to get to know that person. I think and this has been proven when men see certain body parts on women, y'all's brain, the same area that lights up on y'all's brain when y'all are using a tool lights up when y'all view women. If y'all can never get past that perception of that particular woman, then the relationship never deepens. It just doesn't. If y'all can establish a relationship first, then you can actually see a friendship first. You can actually see that woman as a whole person, a whole individual. And that's always going to be a better relationship than if it was just purely out of lust. Women 30 and under, ecstasy, perks, oxy, etc. Are people really out here doing drugs like that? It didn't go left. It went right on topic. Men and women need to be together and have a friendship together. Well, do you feel like men and women really need to be together or that we need to have friendships? I have like I have male friendships, but they're like in limited capacity. I'll say that. Like I don't have any male friend that I just go platonically hang out with and be like, except for no, I'm lying. I have one male friend, but I haven't seen him since I left my last job. But we used to hang out, but he was gay. He was gay. And he liked to be around me because I be dressing every day. So I don't think he liked me in that way. He was genuinely like a gay person, but he admired the femininity. Like I feel like he needed that in his life, but it was platonic, and he liked the fact that I put on a dress and some heels most days. When a man is chasing a woman plays hard and then she lets her guard down. Letting down pride might have been a bit harsh. Okay, I kind of get what you're saying. Yeah, so I'll say like most of the time women aren't the ones to, and like when y'all are first dating, to try to initiate that. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I guess I was confused because I was like, wait, y'all are already in a relationship and it's still taking her some time to, and ask, I guess, if that's what she wants. Okay, guys, let's see. I done been on here for 40 minutes now. Hold on, what you say, Mr. Street? Men can be friends with men, and females can be friends with females. Men and women need to be together. Society is leading us down the road of complete separation. It's our purpose. I'll say this. To be honest, I do enjoy being around women more in terms of having conversations, talking about our emotions. Like I have a whole group of friends who at the beginning of the month we make goals together and at the end of the month we sit and talk about it. And I can just be 100% transparent with them about anything, and I don't feel like I'm being judged or this like information is going to be used uh for a time when I'm vulnerable. I don't know, it is a different like, but again, these are platonic relationships. Like I don't like women in that kind of way. So it honestly does feel safer for me to go express myself and my true thoughts around other women. Like it feels genuine. Versus like if I have male friendships, I always kind of feel an air of, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. I always kind of feel an air of, this is, at the end of the day, this is still a man, and he don't really understand or see me the way my female friends do, as a complete person, that's worthy of respect, who has goals, dreams, and aspirations. Um, I don't necessarily feel like it's the same thing, and as to you saying society is leading us down a road of complete separation, I feel like we're finally seeing what it is. I mean, there's this question of, do women really need men, right? Like when you give women resources, do they choose men? And my answer to that is going to be yes, but they don't choose men that don't see us as whole people, right? Like eventually women are going to get tired of that. So the men that cannot adapt and who cannot develop themselves completely and integrate that feminine side, they gonna be the ones that's gonna be alone. Not the men who know how to, be amongst women, not the men who know how to see women as whole people and understand the woman's plight and move beyond their own sexual interests. Those men are gonna be okay. Okay. Women are gonna love to be around them. But if you cannot figure out a way to see women as whole people, then yeah, those are the men who are gonna struggle. If you feel like a woman is gonna, still in this day and age be living to serve a man and have children, then it's delusional to think that you're gonna have any type of luck or success in this society, because we're just moving beyond that. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I have more female friends through work or school situations. Well, that's another thing too. I feel like a lot of people are having a harder time connecting, Z Mally, because they don't get out. Or if they do go to work, they don't really interact with people. They don't have social skills. That's another issue. So people don't know how to talk to each other, which those are usually the areas in our life where we do build connections with people, work and school, or doing some kind of hobby. But if you completely ignore everybody that's around you when you're spending most of your time at these places, and then you think that you're going to have luck hopping in people's DMs when you don't say anything to them when you see them. That's just going to come off as weird. And I'm not saying you're doing that, D Mally. I'm just saying that's just an issue that I have observed. D got D got work wives. Don't y'all all got some work wives? Do I have a? I'm trying to think. Do I have a work husband? I don't have a work husband. I do have a male coworker who he's married, and we talk, but it's completely appropriate conversation, and he's definitely, like y'all said, cuz you were saying, Mr. D, that society is leading us down complete separation. I don't talk to the other males that I work with at school because they are brutish. Like, they are very brutish. They don't understand, and there's always some underlying motive. Versus this one dude who I talk to at work. He's very intelligent. He's very, like, women's rights, and I'm not saying women's rights. Some men are for women's rights when they feel like it can benefit them from women um participating in hookup culture, and he's genuinely for women being completely empowered. So all the other men is like, well, why she sit up and why she talk to him, or why she speak to him and she don't speak to us? Yeah, well, cuz y'all, I don't like y'all. I don't like y'all personality. I laugh the hardest with my girlfriends, for real. We get each other with no judgment. It's nice to not be on guard all the time. Yes, that's true, Binky. And I feel like so when men are around women, men can't be their full selves because 9 times out of 10, we will be disgusted by the things that they say. Just being honest. A lot of men do a lot of capping around their female friends because y'all have to. Like, if y'all really said some of the stuff y'all be thinking, we would lose our minds. And then it kind of works the other way around, where, like, a lot of women are not completely 100% themselves with men because we don't want to be vulnerable, or open up a space to be judged or preyed upon, or you talking about us in the group chat with your homeboys and telling our business. Is less strained in professional situations. That's true. So if you already have a established professional working situation, and then there are rules and consequences that come in behind that, there's gonna be way less tension. There are rules of engagement. Y'all done already gone through harassment training. So you kind of already know the social norms on how you are and are supposed to interact with each other. And that keeps a lot of that non-platonic activity at bay. You divorced all your work wives, man. You cold. Okay, y'all. Look, it is getting late. I really have enjoyed talking to y'all. This has probably been the funnest live that I've done, guys. But I do have to turn my grades in. I'm definitely gonna come on Saturday. I think I want to come on camera Saturday. It's just I just got, I worked out. I'm busy, and I didn't want to get on here looking crazy. I wanted to bring the best for y'all. Okay, y'all coming up here to talk to me, like, I ain't want to be all in y'all face, a hair all over the place. But this was actually really fun. This is what I got on here for. Okay. And another thing I want to say too, guys, I do want to leave y'all with some words of encouragement, because thank you, Binky. I made this channel because eventually I do want to start doing coaching calls with people and taking on some clients. So that's the whole purpose of this channel. But with that said, guys, that this has taken a lot of courage for me. And y'all got to understand, like, it's hard to kind of get something going when you only have a few subscribers. It's hard to kind of stay consistent. It was weird for me getting on here at first, and Binky was the only one that showed up, which that's my girl, and I'm grateful she showed up. But that's another thing. I had to be grateful for who showed up. And now we're in this live, and we have it completely popping. And this is not even, a couple of months after I've decided to go live. So it's only gonna grow and grow. And My point in saying all this, guys, is don't let the fact that the house isn't built yet stop you from laying your bricks. Lay your bricks. And don't worry about what nobody says. If people are making fun of you because you only had one or two bricks laid, that's fine. The house gonna get built. It's gonna get built in due time. So whatever it is that y'all want to start in life that you've been procrastinating, or you feel like you just don't got what it takes right now, just start laying the bricks. And you don't even have to have the full vision yet. It'll start coming into full view. But that's all I have for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all had a great night. Oh, Mr. D, yes, you a Gemini. Yes, our season is coming up. Okay, that's why we click. But yes, y'all had a great night. I appreciate y'all coming. I will see y'all on Saturday at 8 o'clock. Good night.